Morning shift, I'm done by like 1 or 2, and I can basically have the rest of the day to do whatever the fuck I want. I've gone to more movies because of that, and nobody been in the theater besides me, which is amazing, by the way, that I can count because of that. Go out to eat and be the one of 5 people in a restaurant, so you actually get decent service, even from the places that aren't that well known for service. Now, it's a bitch getting up in the morning, don't get me wrong. Absolute bitch to get up in the morning. But there are some benefits. But I digress.
All right. La 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 la. All right, everybody in game. We are missing a Rambo and a Josh.
Sorry. Trying to get rid of a stupid headache. Sinus is bullshit.
Yeah. Just waiting on Rambo. Rambo, you there? I guess not. I didn't hear him say go AFK. So we are going to start. Alright. We left off with you all using the flower upon Ulrich. And he is better. He's sedated pretty much. He's compliant to be able to listen to you all without, being all savage. So, y'all got 10 minutes from when I start this timer. All right, everybody good to start? Josh, Dan?
Yep, I'm good.
I'm gonna grab something to get rid of this headache real quick.
Let us know when you're back, and I will start this timer. You get 10-minute bursts. Also, depending on how you do in these 10-minute bursts, will color, the difficulty and attitude towards you all if you all choose to, do additional rounds. Flowers do not stack, so you can't just throw, 20 on them and you get, 20, time worth of 20 minutes. Or 20 flowers. Whatever.
back.
All right, starting timer. Boop. Timer started. What do y'all do? His intent, his focus is on both Gavin and Chucky, which are in opposite bodies.
With my universal translator active, I ask him, is there a way for you to gain rationality for longer periods of time?
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Other people ask questions while I'm rolling this because it's loading my character sheet. Uh, 27 in the nature check. It was his. No, it was his brother.
Pain, suffering, destruction, vengeance is all I know. It's pretty the gist of what you get. Give me a. You can either use society or nature. Dan, your DCs are lower because you know all languages, so it's giving you a lower DC to commune with them.
Okay.
He
Do I roll
does.
two so I don't understand the answer?
What was that?
Do I roll nature as well if I want to understand the answer?
If you want to, right now he goes back in kind of more of a savage mode. His lips, pulled back. His teeth are bared as far as they can. As Carell seems to have angered him. Seven minutes.
Your brother, the Blood Lord, wishes us to save you. How would we go about doing that?
Ooh. End what has cursed me. Feed my vengeance. You get two answers. If you remember who imprisoned him, you can guess that's part of his vengeance, and you know the one who cursed him. Actually, with that crit right there, you get the sense his rage and fury is greatly lessened by his mate.
Who's your mate?
Give me a nature check. Because, again, it can't commune in direct words, you get the idea it is somebody of savagery and power.
Why do I feel like it's Kara the vampire?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Is she your niece?
That's so wrong. When you say that, it does not respond because they are not blood. If that's who it is.
Is it Kara? I'll be more blunt.
Give me a nature check.
Okay.
You get the distinct impression it is. Four minutes and 10 seconds.
Trying to remember, isn't it the brother that and I'm not talking about Bloodlord, I'm talking about the other brother that
Corin?
that took him and then took him away from the Bloodlord and hid him away so they couldn't find him?
I didn't
Can
think
give me-
Corin fully knew where he was.
You can give me a intelligence check. Corin has been searching for him.
Okay, so it wasn't him. I know it wasn't the Bloodlord either because he was looking for him as well.
Mm-hmm. If you're going with siblings, it leaves only one more, but I don't know if she would have imprisoned him.
Was it your sister that imprisoned you?
No.
Possible.
Well, you do know it was because your father's teachings in Time Draconia, you do know it was the gods that imprisoned the Bloodlord.
Was it a god? I asked next.
31, that is a crit. You get the idea. It was divine in nature and something else. And as you get that, his face fixates on the body of Gavin and snarls. Not at him, but it could be his race, it could be his scent, it could be what he represents.
Is it the incarnation of death?
He almost whimpers a little bit. Indication, yes.
Wait. So I describe the Grim Reaper for him. Is it him or is it? And then I describe because we've seen Death's incarnation, so we can understand which one it is.
Yes. When you give me another nature check, you got 50 seconds. That is a crit right there. It is the Grim Reaper.
We're gonna kill him anyways. I mean, we're goal.
Except for maybe the Divine.
Oh, I thought that was a. So it's two people.
Yeah.
That imprison him. Was it Paylor?
He starts to go savage. And it's funny enough because you literally just ran out of time with that natural one. You had like 3 seconds left. So
Yeah.
he's again, you can feel or you can see his muscles bulk and that savagery is taking over him. You can feel the heat of his breath and the rage once again fills his eyes.
Raven Queen wouldn't, because she would know that he's an imposter. It wouldn't be Cord, because Cord doesn't feel he needs the help of anybody. He's more about the challenge. If he would do it himself, in other words. Melora might. She would seek help. I don't know if she'd seek the help of death. She's not necessarily a strong, frontline kind of god. She's more of a caster, a druid. That was Palor.
Yeah, Palor, when the Bloodlord bested Cord in combat, Palor was like, no, this can't be left unchecked. And then, with him, Ioun, and it was another god that helped Palor that imprisoned him. You can give me a society check, a religion check, or if you have lore order Palestone, you can give me that check.
We also have a book that has his binding ritual in there. Maybe it says who found him in there.
As you ask this question, because you motion for your companions, you need time to think on this, and this is digging up thousands of years of history. It takes you about 10 minutes to recollect. They weren't at the exact same time, but in short succession of each other.
Almost as if someone needed to take care of the Bloodlord before they could get at him. No, I don't think there is anybody else. I think what happened was that Nyx wanted to eliminate these two because they could be on this side of the Divine Gate, both the Bloodlord and, I'm guessing, our chained friend over here were both on this side of the Divine Gate, and since he was manipulating Palor, he first convinced... Yep, this will be corrupted Palor doing this shit. So Palor comes in, takes care of the Bloodlord first, so that way the Bloodlord can't help the other brother. And Death, we already know, was on good terms with Nyx, because in the final battle with our fathers, the Grim Reaper was actually there to help Nyx. So, yeah, I think we started up again, and we tell him part of his revenge has already been taken. Because Nyx has been dealt with. And then stolen.
And then finally eliminated.
And then eliminated. And then dealt with again. He's been killed 2 times.
And technically, his pawn died too, but then got resurrected. Baylor.
Let me go ahead and mark. I want to make sure I mark down that I'm using the flowers, so I have an accurate count.
All right, let me know when you all are ready.
There's another question we need to ask too. Does his mate know where he is?
I don't know if I want to tell her or not.
No, but I'm wondering if she knows where he is because she's been on the island for a while now. She is very, very, very good at tracking.
All right, you all ready to start?
Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to find.
All right, sorry.
Well, we could start actually, but I'm marking.
Before we start, inform Rambo what has happened quick.
Well, I know we gave him the flower. What else did I miss?
And basically, we figured out who imprisoned him.
All right, starting up. Starting 3, 2, 1. Start it. You place the flower upon him, and he is once again more applicable to conversing.
Hey, I say. I'm gonna go ahead and just certify. Was Paylor the one that imprisoned you?
That is a crit. That is a yes and another. So basically, you get the idea that has a similar scent to Gavin, but is also amongst the ranks of Paylor.
So there's an angel of death that works for Paylor.
You can give me a religion check if you wish.
Oh crap, it's the wrong character.
Do it.
She has way better religion than I do. Damn, and it would have been a crit though with me.
21. There is a god of undeath. Vecna.
So oh shit.
Did you forget he's back?
We're not saying that.
Well, I'm sorry. That's out of game.
Well, yeah, you don't know he's back technically.
8 minutes.
Okay, I say the true perpetrator. Okay, I have to dumb this down. The one controlling Paylor who put you here has been dealt with. His name was Nyx. He's been destroyed.
Give me a nature check. This is an important nature check. Does that stand?
I'm gonna hero point it. It's about as good as I'm gonna get.
His demeanor changes ever so slightly, but you can sense a degree of his rage dissipate. His attitude to those assembled here is one step higher. Basically, you went from hostile to unfriendly. Six minutes, 40 seconds.
Taylor was originally killed and cleansed of his corruption. He has recently been brought back to life in full control of himself once more.
Give me a nature check. The fact that Taylor still stands, he is a mortal enemy to Ulrich. He is a beast after all. He might be a hybrid of a human soul and a beast, but that vengeance, the hatred, is deeply ingrained in him. You have a very distinct feeling he will hunt Paylor if given the chance.
My family and Paylor don't exactly get along great, so... Your final adversary is currently bound within these islands. He's someone we must take down. I ask, is your mate aware that you're here?
Give me a nature check. The fury that's raging through him, your words fall on deaf ears at the moment. Four minutes, 15 seconds.
I look at. Solon, have you brought up family members?
Little bit, whether or not they were involved. But, no, I have not.
As far as we know, Lucian was good to him and his sister was good to him, but we don't know the name of his sister.
Does any of them care about him? Might be.
Yes.
Definitely
his
no
mother
Lucian
wanted
does.
to find him and help him if possible.
That might be something to mention to him.
Already was.
Yeah.
Okay, wasn't sure.
I think that was mentioned yesterday.
3 minutes.
People have anything else to ask him or say anything?
Nope. I'm just trying to help with thoughts to maybe make him more amenable longer.
I have another idea, but I don't know what the whole spell things of Daventry.
I'll be right back. Stopping the time.
Eh.
Like, can this telepathy be upgraded to 6th level? Or is it stuck at 4th? Or is it just between Gavin and Nair?
Gavin and I are.
Because my thought process was to actually use telepathy to send memories to him to show him that we actually know what happened to him with his family and show him that Lucian does indeed care, trying to gain some trust there with the mental images. But I don't know.
I can do a sending spell.
I say, Dan, is there really any like negative that you could think of? Even bringing Kara here?
Not really. She can't break him out. Not without the ritual or with what I have on me.
Yeah.
She doesn't know about the dagger.
Can't we even find her right now?
But I have the sending spell.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure if you say say it, she'll be here fairly quickly. I can't think of anything else offhand to possibly get a little bit more trust between us.
Right? Anybody else have the sending spell just out of curiosity, or just Night Air?
Technically, Amaranth does, but depending on who you're trying to send it to, he might not know know the person. That's a slight issue.
Yeah, I don't think Sarah.
I don't have a Kala here who's in Zivit's body, so I don't.
Kara, and do we tell the Bloodlord?
He seemed to care.
I mean, I see no reason why not.
I'm kind of thinking of telling both him and the Witch Queen.
We can get in contact with the Witch Queen?
Yeah, I've met her. As long as it doesn't have to be this body that met the target, I should be good. I'm going to step aside real quick because Derek's gone. Now that he's going to show up, watch him show up as soon as I step away.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Mm.
So, part of this, I will have to say really quick, Josh. I may need to borrow your Amazon Prime account as of November.
You're looking at the Wheel of Time thing?
Yes.
Because I did see the trailer for that.
Now that they have an official date,
Amazon was pushing it on me.
The books are great. I mean, they were very well written. World was built really, really well. There are aspects of it that got old.
All right, I'm back. Everybody good?
Yeah, here.
I laugh because I've listened to them and finished them that series multiple times. I've got one friend that wants to start it, but does not have the funds to start the series on Audible because it's expensive.
I think I'd rather have the books myself. I've never been that great with.
I've got another friend that started. He started the first book 2 days ago, and he has not been able to stop.
Basically, you're suggesting go read those books.
They are really, really well done. Yes, if you like fantasy books and But you don't like the aspect of the same idea of Lord of the Rings, where it was Frodo just accepting the fact that he's got to be the one to take the ring and destroy it. In the Wheel of Time, it's 3 boys that refuse to take the burden of being the saviors of the world.
All right. So when Dan gets back, we will start.
For some reason,
I'm back.
Hey,
Go. All right. Starting up. 3, 2, 1, go. 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Last question I just thought of. Do you want us to let your siblings know where you are?
Nature check.
I think I would specifically add not Torin to that list. Or just say Lucian and whatever.
Takes a few seconds, but you can sense a longing for his kin.
And nod at him. Okay. First up, I'm going to go ahead and cast the spell Sending.
Okay.
First up is the Bloodlord.
Because you know the Bloodlord, specifically, no interference, you can contact him.
25
Question
words.
is this the Bloodlord? No, Nair. That would be the one that would be talking to him.
Because of a stupid training exercise, I'm in a different body. But I found your brother. This is Solon. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Can you reply to that?
Yep.
If my heart could beat, it would. Find Kara. My gift to him.
I can't respond again. So, okay. Next sending spell. To the Witch Queen. Exact same message.
Oh. Dude goes berserk again.
Would you specifically said Ulrich, because she actually has 3 brothers?
Yeah, I'll say Ulrich instead of brother.
Show me where you are.
Step outside the cave.
Okay. Step back. You're out the portal. You're standing in water or floating. Two things. One, you see a displaced, very anxious Kara pacing back and forth. Immediately when you step out through the portal, you see Kara, who is, ragged clothing covering her. Her arms and, feet are covered in blood. You can tell that it's not hers. In her left hand is a circular medallion that has the Order of Palestone emblem upon it.
You found a way in anyways.
Surehead snaps to you, cocks her head, and her words are, "The dead one, bring him to me." And about 20 feet to the right, you see a gathering of magical energy.
Gavin?
Does she need the body or the mind?
Now, because she has sense magic. This is a conjuration spell. This is outside of Kara's doing.
Yes, but this should be. FYI, I contacted his family, your mate's family. You are my next phone call, or my next sending call. Your dad said to bring you here. You're here. Job done.
It's always a perplexing, looking at Kara, because even though she is in need of you and your friends, there's still a part of her that looks at you as food and prey. Even in her calm state. There, you can tell there's that duality of herself holding back that primal urge to rip your throat out and drink your blood.
So when I asked Solon which guy,
I said yes.
and said yes, then I say, I start walking out, then I tell Chucky / my body to come on.
Rush out there.
All right. What is Gavin's AC?
Looks to be 21.
That is a crit. All right, so as you come through the portal in a blinding just speed, before you can even blink, Chucky, who is inhabiting Gavin's body, all of a sudden you have a hand around your throat and you cannot breathe. Well, you can't breathe anyways, but you get the feeling if you could breathe, you'd be suffocating. With just a flick or just a flick of the thumb, it could easily snap your neck. There you see Kara, which you don't have a whole lot of experience with. You've met her briefly.
Words.
Free my mate.
I tell her I plan to put my body down. I pat the open book to the binding spell.
Give me a diplomacy check. Or nature. Either one's fine.
Can I even speak right now?
Yeah.
Because yes, you can, because you're in Gavin's body. He doesn't need air to speak.
So basically, I would utter, that is the intention.
You sure you want him freed now? I say to Kara.
She looks at you, and because of her passive perception, you can see that there is a sadness in her. That almost transcends words. Well, that does transcend words.
You free him now, and the strongest heroes in the entire world are going to have to come to track him down to prevent exactly what your dad almost did when he was first woken up. Only this time it won't be in search of blood. It will just be an endless need to feed his vengeance. And the divine gate isn't there to restrict divine intervention anymore.
At that, the gathering of energy is starting to take form, and you see an archway of stone entwined with vine and sigils of ancient writings. It is a very powerful spell formula. It's not a written language, but the language of magic, empowering the spell. Basically, the gist is my passage will not be barred by the power of, basically an incantation written into the language of magic.
Grayskull.
Yep. Yes, by the power of Grayskull.
Better than the next book's adaptation, at least. Anyways. I'm looking for Kara's response to me.
There is a confliction there. You get the idea that
She didn't think this thing all the way through.
there is, and it's weird seeing a worry in Kara. There is a worry of his safety, but at the same time, she would stand by his side and battle any foe.
And she would get crushed. I'm going to say that, actually. You would be crushed. If you forced the Dragon Lords to take flight in order to protect Draconia, which you would need to, you would be crushed.
The gate finishes, and there a woman steps forth. Long, flowing red hair, skin of perfection. Slightly tannish. Necklaces of animal claws and skulls hang from her neck. Her torso is bare. There is a long cloth that is held by a belt that covers the front that goes down to her ankles and the back. Slits on the side that go all the way up. Tattoos, tribal in nature, in comparison to the tattoos of, like Draconia or...
It's like Morgan from Dragon Age with tattoos.
Kind of, yes. When she steps out, there is a air of intensity.
Ah, shit.
There is life around her just blossoms. And then there is a aura of dread and fear, and it is a spectacle to behold by her immense powers having a direct influence on the immediate surroundings.
Okay, everybody calm down. And by calm down, I mean Kara, listen to everything I say because I'm correct.
Give me a nature or diplomacy check. Both work with Kara.
Nature or nature and?
Nature or.
Nature. That's the one I rolled first.
She is not applying any more pressure on the throat of Gavin, and there's not really any pressure being other than just holding him in place. Like, you can see that her animalistic rage is kind of just died down, and she's just holding him in the air by the throat just because he was already there and she hasn't put her arm down.
And besides that, we're going through stupid ass training. So we body swapped already. So you're technically not holding the correct person. You want the
Yeah,
short
but I
green
don't
one.
really want her holding that one either.
He just looks at you curiously.
We're confused, like, well, did I want to choke the correct one, but the correct body doesn't want me choking the wrong body, so now I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm supposed to choke. Your lover's through there, and your brother's through there. I say to the two women, God, I wish I was in my own form. I just float back into the cave.
Hold on, before you do that, that's a crit. You see the woman who has appeared through the gate. She raises her hand gingerly and begins speaking words of power as you say this. Everything slows down to a crawl. And you understand her. You're the only one that understands her, Solon. Begone, pesky spell.
Joy of joys.
And you'll all return to your proper bodies.
Yes!
Whoa. I'm not being held anymore. You can do what you want with them now.
To be absolutely fair, it's unlikely you're going to be held by a woman again in the near future, so you should have enjoyed it while you could.
You could also completely let go, because I have every intention to free him.
Oh. So all of a sudden, Solon comes out of the cave. Mine. And I grab the dagger from Nair.
Okay. Nice.
It is not coming out of my possession.
Take me.
Thank you. You're my favorite of the three brothers, or the three siblings now. Your fourth brother's an asshole.
She looks around and sniffs the air. That coward has been here.
I nod. Or do you mean here specifically? Like the Tig Cave? 'Cause he was still looking like
The island itself. You get the sensation that's what she was saying. Her words are very absolute.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if she meant the
Yep.
cave itself, because he was looking for her.
Yep.
The prison. Shall we go?
Soon enough, I will deal with him. She puts her hands together and parts them, and as she does that, the waterfall parts to reveal the actual portal. As y'all step through, in Ulrich's rage, you see, him trying to thrash about, and he sniffs the air, and his head turns. as best it can to face Kara. And in that moment, you see the most human of expressions upon him. One of longing and love. And then his head shifts slightly to see his sister. And there is a just low whimper.
So, because I'm a nice guy, I hand Kara a flower. If you feed this to him, you'll get 10 minutes of lucidity. Best I can give you.
You see the Witch Queen. Before she approaches her brother, she's examining the chains. She's examining this dimension. She extends her hand and there apparates a staff. The head of the staff has 3 skulls. One of a fiend, one of a humanoid, and one that looks humanoid in nature, but has stained golden blood upon it. Kara approaches, and she puts both hands. You see 2 bat wings shoot out of her back, and she flies up to meet his gaze. And that whimpering is still there. And she puts her hand on his snout and pets it, and then feeds him the flower. And the best, no tears come from Ulrich's eyes, but you can tell that he is crying. And they converse. Unless you all do anything, they communicate on a primal level for the next 10 minutes.
I asked to speak privately with the Witch Queen.
Me and Nair go to Chucky, who he still has the book, and ask for it to flip through it to that binding spell and actually start going over it. Not doing the binding spell yet. I just want to see if I need the medallion, if I don't, what the spell actually entails, and we start going over that.
As you say this, Solon, she looks at you, and then both you are just standing there, and both your souls are hovering outside your body. Speak.
We have 2 ways we can free him. I don't know if now's the time to free him, though. We informed him that his revenge on the one that controlled Pelor is complete, and that seemed to restore some sanity. But there's still his 3rd assaulter that has not been taken care of yet. And the fact that 2 of his would-be imprisoners have been resurrected. I'm not sure either of them is touchable in the near future. But his rage seems to have lessened towards Pelor. He doesn't know about Vecna coming back yet.
She is simply studying you. one can be dealt with sooner than later. The other hidden. She looks at Ulrich. So much suffering he has endured. I can give a way for you to free him and have a sense of control. But doing so would require he to be linked with all those assembled here. And you get the idea she's referring to the PCs in Kara. Or she would not be linked to it as she is the one performing the ritual. But to take this, there is risk. For his rage is divided amongst all those linked to him.
Of his 3 assaulters, keeping in mind that each elimination of an assaulter lessens that rage significantly, our goal is to rid this island of the Grim Reaper, that false pretender of death. That is one of his sealers. He is on this island. We technically know where he is. We're building up our strength before we challenge him. As far as the other 2, we're not going to get close. Vecna's learned his lesson. He's not going to leave himself vulnerable again. He's the god of secrets for a reason. And Pelor, while it's true that he is far more, shall we say, visible and far more flamboyant, he is necessary for what the world is about to face. I have another plan, a different plan, that I just pulled out of my ass. I say that in-game.
You see an actual smirk across her face.
On this island, on these islands, there exists the primal spirit, animal spirits. Our goal is to resurrect them all. What if we were to bring them together and allow them to bless him in such a way as to give him dominion over his animalistic instincts, as opposed to letting him be controlled by them? That should be well within their domain. And they are virtual deities of a lesser scale.
Be warned why the possibility exists that this can achieve what you want. If his rage and his fury prove superior, they will kneel to him.
Either way, I think that's a decision for my group to make, whether or not they wish to embrace the solution of bearing part of his rage or risk the Animal Lord solution I put forward, or see if he can control himself after the Grim Reaper is taken care of. In all scenarios, except for the one that you first put forward, the one where we are linked to him, we couldn't free him yet. Because if he goes on a rampage, there's no one that's going to be able to stop him outside of the greater heroes of the realm. And if they get involved, they will beat him. And it won't be imprisonment. I know enough of them to know it won't be imprisonment. Unless you could force him into my father's prison.
The decision how you proceed is yours. You have my gratitude. And to each of you, a favor is owed. You have given me something I have not had in ages, and that is hope.
I ask whether or not you want to count this as a favor or not. It's up to you, but erase our presence from the entryway and anywhere near this cave once we're done. I don't want
It's already been done as soon as I stepped forth.
Appreciated. Once we leave this place, I have no intention of coming back until it's time to either free him or to bring the Animal Lords. No, to free him, basically. Because I want to do no favors for that jackass.
She nods. He will pay for his sins.
I nod to her respectfully, thanking her for her time. I say I will bring up all three solutions to my companions, and we will make our decision.
She nods. As both you return to your bodies, she raises her hand. As she was doing this with you, because they're looking over the book, this converse probably took about 10 minutes. During that time, she was casting a spell in her physical body. You see her extend her hand, and Ulrich starts to shake violently. And then you hear the snapping of bones, and he begins howling. Kara immediately turns to the Witch Queen, bares her teeth. You see the Witch Queen slam her staff to the floor of the dimension, and Kara kind of whimpers back. After a few moments of this, you see Ulrich in human form. I have bought you one day with your love. She turns her attention to all of you. A blessing to those that have done great service to our family. She extends her hands in front of her mouth and she blows. And there's a wind that just encompasses the entirety of this chamber that is his prison. And then each of you feel a ethereal entity on your shoulder that starts to take form. All of you are treated as a witch class for the purposes of the familiar they get, and you get each familiar feat that is entitled to the witch class. You can decide what your witches are, or what your familiars are, and whatnot. You do get the benefits of what the familiar does for the witch. This also gives you a direct link to the Witch Queen.
I thank her. What time of day is it?
It is mid-after. It's about midday because you've all only used 3 actions of your 6.
Do we rest for the day, or do we continue on? I say to the group. A lot of shit's kind of gone down.
I feel like getting away from here a little bit might be good, and then resting.
Yeah,
Hey.
probably getting away from here.
I have a dimensional mansion that I can cast.
Yeah.
That we could go there.
Ooh, actually, I forgot. I could just create, because I have portal. It opens up a door, and I can only make it so whoever I want can see it, and it's a safe zone. But
The Witch Queen, she departs. Each of you have a brand, if you will, and instinctively know that a favor is owed to each of you. She is gone.
Okay. We have some stuff to discuss. So I tap my mother's staff my grandmother's staff to the ground, and Faye's magnificent mansion appears before me, or appears behind me. Let's go.
Okay.
Give the lovebird some privacy.
He actually has a lot of room to move around now because he's not a hulking fucking beast. Though he's still impaled in various areas because, but he can move around and enjoy 24 hours or 20 hours in this world with his beloved.
Hey, Kara, catch. Throw a bottle of blood wine.
Ooh. You see, you can see, like, it's blinding how fast they both move. You see Kara just in a moment try to grab it, and Ulrich already has it in his hand.
You're welcome, as I enter into the door.
All right.
So I turned to the group. I spoke with Witch Queen.
Okay.
We have some options, assuming we wish to free him. You don't have to worry about being overheard here. I kind of want to free him.
I kind of do too, but can he be controlled? Or not controlled, but
that is my
mindless monster that wants to kill everything.
Okay, that's where some decisions need to be made by us.
Okay.
Okay, I've come up with a possible solution. The Witch Queen presented a possible solution, and there's the obvious fourth solution, which is, we just let him go and let the chips fall where they may. The Witch Queen has a ritual.
Also, by the way, his attitude towards you all is no longer unfriendly, and he is neutral towards you.
Okay. I say the Witch Queen has a ritual that would bind his rage to all of us, dispersing it, and therefore not only would we have a degree of control over him, he would have a degree of control over himself. There are risks associated with that. You could probably attest to that better than most, I say, gesturing to Chucky.
Rage can be hard to control, yes.
And we would have a generous portion of it. But that is a immediate solution, and we would get a very powerful ally, and he would not need to be here for very long.
My question is, with that being said, So we become linked to him, so that way he has more sanity, essentially.
We're providing him extra willpower, basically.
Okay. Would that go both ways if he gets he goes too far berserk? Would that affect us?
We would be linked. So, I mean, kind of. It's not we're stub our toe and we get pissed because we, hit our toe on the coffee table and everyone else immediately feels it. It's more.
That would suck.
That would be hilarious.
It's more subtle than that. It's closer to the idea of.
All right, new quest, guys. Baby-proof the island.
It's closer to the idea of where we take in part of his rage into ourselves that connects us with him, but it doesn't necessarily continually add rage. We take part of his existing rage, basically.
So as long as his doesn't get too overwhelming for any of us, we should be okay.
As long as someone doesn't wrong him on the level that he's experienced before, we should be fine. Because
Okay.
there's being pissed at someone, and then there's unyielding rage, and what he's feeling now, what we're dispersing amongst us, is part of his unyielding rage. It also has ramifications should any of us ever encounter Paylor or Vecna. I'm not so sure we'd be able to control ourselves.
Do we plan on meeting them for any random reason?
There's no planning on meeting Vecna. You do if if he needs something from you.
What you gotta understand, Amaran, is if it's anyone of significance and you're with these two, pointing at Gavin and Owen, you'll eventually meet them.
Even those you don't want to meet.
Well, it's not like
I've
you don't want
noticed.
to meet them, and you just meet them anyways.
I'm starting to get that feeling with you guys, with some of you guys.
Every time from now till the end of time, we meet someone from the Court of Stars, I'm going to bring this exact same thing up, but I'm going to reference you.
Hey, I didn't choose to be a quarter-star member. You just went, you're a quarter-star member now.
And we didn't choose to be born into Draconia. It's amazing how that works, isn't it?
Actually, I don't think I'm a full-fledged member yet, so there's that.
Yes, you are. You kind of crossed the Rubicon there. You kind of taken up the sword already.
Sort of.
It's metaphorical sword. I do it.
It went over his head. It's all right.
So, point being, that would be option number 1. Option number 2 I came up with is if we were to awaken, like we already intended to do, all of the other animal lords, his bestial nature should be under their dominion. They might be able to perform a ritual to help him harness or come into control of it. The Witch Queen did warn me that there's a chance that the ritual could backfire, in which case he would gain dominion over said primal spirits.
Huh.
No, we're neutral for him, so that still isn't necessarily going to hurt us.
Yeah.
But assuming none of us die, I'm guessing option 1 might be the better one then.
Assuming there is risk with the rage one. It isn't. I didn't want to underplay that. Like, there is an immense amount of risk pouring that much anger into mortal form.
Yeah, and my point being is kind of what I stand is that as long as none of us die, the risk can be minimized to quite a bit. Because if you think about it, we're linked. One member dies. I'm guessing the spell rebalances.
So there's only one issue that I think I would bring up, and the issue happens whether we're linked to him or not. No matter what one we choose, is that his current form predicament he's in was caused by the mother monsters, correct?
His curse, yeah.
Yeah. So far, those that have been cursed by her that I've been able to run into have been, in a sense, under her control to a point. I am scared of when she is freed.
Valid point.
That would come into play. And that comes into play if he's linked to us, or if the bad thing happens with the animal spirits.
If the good thing happens with the animal spirits, she wouldn't be able to influence him anymore.
Possible, yes.
Well, because she controls him. She controls you through your
Animalistic.
animalistic nature. It isn't through your rational nature she controls you.
Mm-hmm.
So if he has control over that, or dominion over that, he should. I'm not sure he would get away scot-free.
I think it would be at least a fight and not a
he'd
instant
be able to
lose.
resist as opposed to just automatically fail.
Yeah, but that is something to bring up, that I would bring up, just as this is going to possibly something we deal with no matter what we choose.
High or low, Charlie?
High.
Okay. You didn't read the chapter yet, but there was a chapter with a heading that spoke of the mother beast and the first wolf.
I start reading that chapter.
It's going to take you about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, y'all can continue discussing, but, you know, the light bulb goes in Gavin's head and is like, give me a moment. I'm going to read a chapter in this book.
Yep. It's called The Big Bad Wolf.
I've said my piece. Like, those are the three things that I was able to come up with. The third one is we continue on. We have several of the same targets, eliminating the Mother of Monsters, dealing with the Grim Reaper. Maybe if we eliminate them, his rage towards them will dissipate, and maybe he'll be able to control himself, even with the other two still not being taken care of. Keeping in mind the other two are gods, so
yeah,
they're kind of necessary for the upcoming fight.
So
Do we even know the relative strength of the Reaper and the other one?
Not really. But we know we were tasked with fighting him before this ever happened. He was given a quest, I point at Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
do just that. So we were going to be on a put on a collision course with the Grim Reaper one way or the other. It's just a matter of whether or not we come out on top.
It wasn't it if he defeats the Reaper, Tyrone gets freed.
No one's really sure.
So after 10 minutes of reading, you read over the chapter. It speaks of the first wolf, Ulrich, and his rage and fury. There is one account of a witness that managed to survive a known meeting between the mother monsters and Ulrich. By this individual's account, she was unable to control him. And a battle ensued. In Valyria, you know of this area, though you have yet to be there, Gavin. It is called the Blood Scar.
Okay.
It is a swath miles long of the battle between Ulrich and the Mother of Monsters. This witness does not know the ultimate outcome, but it traded blows. Ulrich traded blows with the Mother of Monsters through its, accounting of it before it became too dangerous and the individual had to flee.
True. I mean, they're both still quote unquote alive. I would take a moment to bring that up, then I would tell Solon that here's this account in the book that she was not able to control him. I think my vote ultimately will probably be seeking the help of the animal spirits. But I would like to actually get a recollection from Ulrich on if she was ever able to control him, and also what happened on that battle. But I think with this account that I have that she wasn't able to control him, I think I'm more comfortable with the animal spirits.
Does it say in the book who was the witness?
It was a field agent of the Order of Palestone. Insert name. I haven't come up with a name for him. I just came up with the lore that's in the book. Names are hard for me to come up with.
Sandrick's dad.
What?
Sandrick's dad.
I don't think he was ever in the Order of the Pillstone.
I know, I just mean because he's a bard of far-flung interests. So, what do the rest of you have to say?
Well, let me actually go present this to Sam real quick, and I'll give you her answer, okay? You all
Okay.
discuss amongst each other. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So what do you all have to say?
I am kind of like Charlie, leaning towards the animal spirits one. I am kind of intrigued what the rage one would do, though.
Probably make you much stronger.
Probably. and probably harder to control.
Probably, yeah.
Not sure. Don't think Chucky would like that necessarily.
What about you, Rambo?
After listening, I feel like the beast might be a better option than dividing it amongst us.
So, you all know Solon's a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
We're going to need to come up with a reason, a motivating reason, to get all these various beasts to want to do this. And Solon doesn't want to turn his boons or his buffs that we'll get from resing them into favors to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we did, we'd still need to come up with a reason for the 3 that we resed on this island to join in, because we've already accepted their buffs.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we need to come up with that right now. I mean, like, we can come up with it as we go on, because you have to remember, we're closing in on finishing up this island.
Yeah.
And feasibly, we could find something that could motivate them.
True.
Especially since they are understanding what this world is facing far more than, your average individual, just because they were under the control of famine and war for however long.
Yeah.
Maybe if we get him to agree that he'll join the fight against the Daemons, they'll agree to it. At least it's an idea.
It makes sense.
And it's just something to keep an eye out for everybody, for anything you could come up with that would be a good motivating factor or a good motivating idea.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye out then as we continue on, I think. But you guys have interacted with him far more than I have, at least some.
Be right back.
Sam votes share rage.
Fair enough.
She
Josh
feels
was
that
tempted.
the animal spirits that they fall under his control, or they bend knee to him, is potentially a greater threat.
Without a doubt. The general consensus is people are leaning towards the animal spirit route. But actually, this is kind of a big deal, because one means we do this immediately, or could do this immediately. The other one is more of a we wait and see.
Down the road.
Yeah, because we need to res all the animal spirits before we could even begin to do that.
Yeah,
And we
I
also,
heard.
Look, I'm just saying that not me on who delivers this message to Kara. If we choose to go the waiting route, but I'll definitely tell her we do it right now.
Well, one of her big worries is okay. So if they fail, this ritual and they bend knee, they will do everything they can to free him. And then he has a host of very powerful entities to hunt down the targets that, he has powerful fucking animal lords to hunt down Vecna, hunt down Palor, and hunt down the mother of monsters.
the worry for us is if it backfires on us. Because not only do you have to worry about, the ritual going wrong, which you have to remember, in both cases you're worried about the ritual going wrong. But in the raid scenario, even if the ritual goes right, there's a risk of, if we ever come in contact with Palor or his temple, which we have not found on this island yet, or Vecna. And I don't think he'll have a temple on this island because he's too new of a god. You'll have to, one way or the other, Derek. You'd know that, but I wouldn't.
Yep. Now there is and your characters are smart enough to know this too. If you go the shared link route, if you do come across the temple and whatnot, through your will, you might be able to temper Ulrich. So it is, there is, because you got your pros and cons to both right there with these. You have the failure with the animal spirits and then bending knee to Ulrich. That has mass devastation effects. Y'all are neutral with them, which give you a chance not to engage in combat with them. He loves his siblings very much, but him and the Bloodlord have fought, and the Bloodlord has had to flee from Ulrich. Not sure if the Bloodlord would lose, but he definitely has fled. It could be that he didn't want to, kill his brother, or if he could, just
Bloodlord's
know
also
that,
stronger now.
Yeah.
Because he's consumed a drop of blood from the mother of monsters.
That is true.
My character doesn't know that, but outside of game,
yeah.
He is significantly stronger after having consumed that.
You also know on either case, if Ulrich does go after Palor, Vecna, and the like, his siblings will side with him. You can almost guarantee that.
That's true.
So, there's pros and cons either. One of the pros, two of the pros, if you do link, you got a ally, that very, very powerful ally.
We're gonna get that in either case, though.
In either case, you got a very, very powerful ally. Okay, so if you put that in the column of both, the one benefit you have with the link is you have a chance to temper Ulrich towards Palor, Vecna, and other entities that might warrant him wanting to rip their heads off.
So, in the cost-benefit analysis, what it really becomes for everyone to decide is less risk for us as individuals and all our various agendas, and that's taking the Animal Lord route, versus the potential benefits we receive from the link, as well as the potential benefit of maybe being able to temper some of his aggression towards individuals we need for the upcoming, showdown with Abaddon.
When it
So
comes
that's the
to
cost benefit in a nutshell.
when it comes,
Everything else kind of comes out as a wash.
yeah, when it comes to that, I would probably switch my decision to Link. When it comes down to that, plus, when have we ever made a decision to make our goals any easier? With that added info, I think I'll switch my decision to the Link.
Your thoughts, Josh, Rambo, Dan?
I'm still leaning towards the Animal Lords because I find that there is so much riding on our decisions on this island. So many things riding on this. If you were to roll outside of game, if you were to role play, correctly, the influence that your character should have on. Let me put it to you in a slightly different way. Currently, Solon has put a lot of the pissed off feelings he has for Gavin to the back of his mind and just kind of not worth dealing with right now. We have bigger fish to fry. Personal vendettas can be put aside until later. If all of a sudden rage is added into that volatile mix, the next time one of us crosses another one, there might not be a chance to de-escalate the situation, or at least there should.
There is that.
Well, and not only that, but if that were the case, it all of a sudden becomes a giant brawl. Even if one doesn't, my concern is there is currently 5 of us that would be sharing the link.
I'm assuming, Nair is going to end up sharing part of it anyways, whether she's sharing part of Gavin's or whether she's getting a full share herself.
Yeah.
So you think about it, then all of a sudden it divides down to, if something happens to somebody, they die, we don't get them back within a reasonable time, that means we're down a person, so it...
The way I understand this, the way it was described when we were interacting with Ulrich, think of the rage bar as a form of energy. The energy gets, divvied up amongst us. When one of us dies, I'm not sure the rage gets displaced as more as that portion of the rage just kind of goes away.
Or it goes back into Ulrich.
We're taking on a portion of the rage. We're not necessarily, constantly being rebalanced for an equal amount of rage. At least that's my understanding. I might be wrong, but
I guess that's something.
I don't believe it's an open connection like that, especially since I don't think his sister would want an open connection with all of the things that all of us are about to embrace. Between the Court of Stars and Josh, between Gavin and Nair and his apparent connection with death, with me and my connection to my granddad. I'm not sure Nair wants her brother actively connected with us. It's more of a, shifting of burdens.
I guess that's something I would definitely want to know for sure before I completely decide, would even consider switching over. I mean, yeah, it makes sense it wouldn't, but...
Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of in favor of, because I've seen... My character is in favor of the Animal Lords, because my character has seen how easy it is to really stick your foot in it when we're dealing with these high tense and high stress situations. And if you add rage on top of that, it's one thing for like Chucky, who's trained to handle rage. The rest of us aren't trained on handling it. As a matter of fact, several of us have family members that probably encourage rage in unhealthy manners. Mine through vengeance, and Charlie's through divine retribution.
So yeah, I'm still thinking I'm gonna stick with Beasts as the option to go.
So right now it's a two-way tie.
It's a tie, and Josh is the tiebreaker. Holy fuck.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Oh, shit.
You do realize I'm still thinking, what I said before.
I wasn't here
The
for
animals.
So is that your decision, though? So again, I don't know when you got back. One of the pros of being linked is you can help.
Him now versus later, so we'll have the ally.
No, help him contain his rage and demeanor towards Paylor and Vecna and anyone that would warrant his rage. That is one of the biggest bonuses of linking with him, because even if you do the
get out of that,
plus whatever you get out of it. The downside, both ways you get any way that you manage to free him, you get a powerful ally. Downside of the Animal Lords failing, they've been knee, and he has a host of powerful demigods to hunt down Paylor and Vecna. Ultimately, again, if there is conflict there, his siblings will side with him. At least the two that like him.
It's true. But when you think about all the people that will side with Paylor, in a particular conflict, I'm not so sure. Even with his siblings, he comes out on the top of that particular pecking order.
Although they might not come out on top. They probably want to come on top, but there would be mass destruction.
And we would be in no shape to fight the Damons at the back end of this conflict either.
Yeah, so there's pros and cons both ways. If the Animal Lords do succeed, he potentially will have far more control over himself. But as it stands right now, he does look at Paylor and Vecna and the Grim Reaper as prey. It is ingrained in him to look at them as prey, as they must die. He will feast upon their corpse.
I mean, given the fact that he can't leave the islands yet, that's not too bad of a thing.
I can just see it right now. He goes doggy paddling out in the fucking ocean in the storm, and this fucking serpent comes up and he just punches him in the nose.
It's like punching a shark in the nose where it's supposed to scare him away.
So the serpent's going to be like, what the fuck? What? No. Oh god, I could just see it. Like what cartoon was that? Fucking shark got punched in the nose and it just fucking ran off crying or swam off crying. It just, I don't know. That just popped into my
It
head.
happens with Looney Tunes all the time.
There we go.
This place is dumb. First, random fucking guy dropped fucking fireballs from the sky on top of me. And then this guy just punches me in the nose.
So yeah, it is a decision. There are pros and cons no matter which way you go.
We could always pull this. Okay, realistically, I think no matter which decision we end up doing, we should do it after we've taken care of the Grim Reaper. No matter which one we choose, just because his rage will be that much less to either interfere with the ritual for the animal lords or for, distribution.
Okay.
That also gives you more time to weigh your decision as well.
Exactly. Maybe we'll come across some stuff that could either enhance either ritual and mitigate some of the risks that we see on either side.
Yeah.
Well, you're the one holding up, and you need to decide.
No, he already said what he was
No.
leaning towards. He actually made a decision. Give credit where credit is due. He made a decision. Don't take that away from him.
Actually, I made a decision before everyone, before a
I'm
bunch
not
of
sure
you.
you have made a decision before, but that's not the point. I think you've been forced into stating stuff. I'm not sure decision making is part of that. But
Right.
neither here nor there. I have to go and start the laundry in the dryer again. But I think when we talk to Kara in the morning, after she's had her alone time with her lover, as well as him, let him know that we intend to eliminate the Reaper first, before either ritual is undertaken, just because it will increase the odds. And Kara isn't, she may be bestial, but she understands the idea of she needs this ritual, no matter which ritual, she needs to succeed as much as we do.
I could actually see her trying to help us fight that Reaper too.
Yeah, but we're not going to fight him until we're confident we're prepared to fight him. We're not high enough level yet, nor do we get up.
Are they going to have that much patience?
Doesn't matter.
We're gonna have to.
We hold the cards. We have both the ritual and the dagger, and they don't even know about the dagger yet. And I'm talking about the ritual to free him.
You know that the Witch Queen has faith in you. She plays a long game. So you're fairly confident, at least Solon is, that you don't have to worry about angering her by taking your time.
And I'm also confident that we don't have to worry about the Bloodlord, because the Bloodlord and my family are tight.
Yes, they are.
And he's kind of known for the long game, too.
Yes, he is.
And actually, Kara, it's all in how you present it. Because she should understand the idea of prepping to fight, preparing yourself for a difficult hunt.
Yeah,
It's all in
preparing,
how you
stalking. Yeah, it's how you present it to her.
If you just say we're waiting before we, free your boyfriend, just because we don't feel we're ready yet, that might piss her off. If you say, hey, we need to hunt down one of the things that's driving your boyfriend insane, but we're not ready to face it yet, we're preparing to face it, all of a sudden it's much more of a hunter mentality, a much more recognizable thing with her.
Yeah.
Just as long as she doesn't try to
Avoid big words.
the gear on us by training us up.
I
don't
probably
need
should
another
tell
trainer.
her that. I have a tendency to use big words unintentionally. Who uses the smallest words out of all of us? Josh, congratulations.
What? Don't wanna.
You use the most simplistic language out of all of us. You get to tell her.
No, I refuse.
But it's a reward for making a decision.
That is not a reward. Take it back. Take it back.
Yeah, we better not use that as a reward because, it encourages him to never make a decision. In that case, Charlie doesn't breathe anyway, so if she chokes him out, it's ineffective.
The sigh.
Fuck.
Is that a sigh of resignation, or is that a sigh of, I haven't come up with an argument, give me a moment?
Probably both.
But either way, I'm going to go and handle this laundry. I'll be right back.
Alright.
So yeah, I mean, again, this isn't, and to put it in perspective, this is literally here. There theoretically isn't a time limit on this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, Kara will get impatient, and that can lead to some things, but it's not like he's going anywhere. Funny enough, again, because I rolled the last time we played, not last night, but a month ago. If any random event, and it led to Kara finding the medallion. Which became an event possibility once if y'all took aid from the Bloodlord and Kara was sent.
Yeah.
She was actually going to approach y'all at the end of the night if y'all didn't actually go to this location, or like I said, it was funny that y'all went there because she was going to approach you at night and go up to you, Gavin, which was Chucky in your body, basically do the same thing, choke you out and be like, free my lover or free my mate.
That could have been really funny too. Before the day that they were given is over, I let them spend as much of it that I don't need to ask Ulrich a couple questions.
Okay. There is a brief cutscene when Dan gets back and when handled, because the Bloodlord is going to try to contact all of you.
Okay.
But because you're in an extra dimensional space, it has Solon has to get permission.
Okay.
I'm be right back.
Okay, but go ahead with what you were saying, Charlie. I know what you're going to do.
So that I try not to piss choke me like you hate me. But I did laugh at that. I just want you to know that Corpse, his lyrics, his voice, remind me of you every time I hear it. But
Nice.
I first announce myself. I say sorry for the intrusion, but Ulrich, while you have your mind, there's a couple questions I need to ask between you and the Mother of Monsters.
We'll get to those questions when Josh gets back and we do this little cutscene, if you will, with the Bloodlord, if Solon gives permission for him to commune with y'all in your pocket dimension thing you created at the mansion.
Sure, go ahead.
I'll wait until Josh gets back, though.
Who contacted the Bloodlord?
No one. He's reaching out to you.
Okay.
It comes in as spam likely.
Is this a spam folder? When did I install this? I can get a free 100 gold. All I have to do is send 10 gold. Some Prince and Zobek?
Who the fuck is so old that they're using AOL still?
I still use AOL. Shut your mouth.
Man, you are a bloodlord.
I remember it wasn't too long ago. It was probably about a month. I had to give somebody my email address, and they're like, "I've never heard of AOL." I was like,
Oh my god. You are so old.
You should have told them it was back
What?
when they gave internet on CDs and watched their mind explode.
Someone still has an AOL account? What?
I do.
We found the one guy that's left on AOL.
I didn't think AOL still existed.
I still have my AOL email account.
We found the one guy keeping them alive.
I've had it since my first computer.
It's literally just you and a few grandparents.
Granted, I have an AOL account, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, no, it's Derek.Conrad. And fucking I've had it for a very, very long time. Oh man. Yeah, that really I felt really, really old when the person told me they didn't know what AOL was.
You should. And Josh
So-
is back, so
Yes.
I know somebody who doesn't even know what Gilligan's Island is.
I know quite a few people that don't know what Gilligan's Island is. To be fair, that was old when I was young.
Yeah.
So, as you all are, winding down, there is a magical presence that is felt. It is familiar to you, soul. It is of the Blood Lord. Do you accept it in?
yes.
All right. There, liquid from your various containers pour out into a pool in the middle of the floor and take form of the Blood Lord. I did not think it was possible. But you have brought hope to my sister. And myself. It has been centuries since I have laid eyes upon my sister. After she departed your presence, she came to me. You have my gratitude beyond what I can put into words. You will not want for anything going forth. My child, Kara. There was 2 reasons that I created her. 1, survival. Figuring out the best way of dealing with the one who cursed myself and my brother. The other was to give Ulrich someone he could bond with. One who would not be afraid of what he is. One who can walk beside him. Reuniting them, even for the brief time they have. Stirs emotions I have forgotten long ago. You have my sincerest thanks, gratitude. What is mine is yours. Thank you. And at that, unless you all wish to say anything to him, the blood magic he utilizes to commune will fade.
I don't have anything. Anybody else?
No.
No.
All right. So, you all get rest after a very prolific interaction with the Bloodlord, because what he said has deep, deep meaning. As all of you are experienced players and avid nerds like me, you should get an idea of what his words truly mean. The morning comes, and you step
Definitely will
out.
have the greater blessing now. The Blood
They all
Lord's
have
blessing
the
is in there.
Yeah, we all have the greater blessing of the Bloodlord, but it goes beyond that. You, Solon, have achieved something that not even your father has with the Bloodlord. All of you have. Gavin, you step out. There, when you step out of the door of his mansion, you step forth, both Kara and Auric. Auric is, on his knees because he can't really lay down because of the chains, but him and Kara are both butt-ass naked. As you step forth, Auric's head snaps to you, and you do see, even in his human form, he has, long blonde hair, very athletically built. There is still that kind of predatorial menace about him. And, as his head snaps to you and his brows frown and he's kind of instinctively, his lips curl back, you kind of step back. Kara lifts her head and looks at you, kind of like a lioness. Curiosity.
I have the book with me, by the way. I go ahead and tell them I wanted to give you guys enough time together to where I didn't feel I was intruding. But, Ulrich, while you have your sanity, there's some stuff I've come across that I need answers from you on. And it has to deal with the Mother of Monsters. More intensely, your battle with her and her attempt to try and control you.
He lets out a low, guttural growl. Kara sits up on her knees next to him. She cocks her head at you. I will speak for mate.
I nod at that, but I will still direct my questions directly at Ulrich. My first question will be, and I open the book up to the chapter, and I have an account here of your battle with the Mother of Monsters. And I know she tried to control you and failed. Has she ever succeeded?
He lets out a growl. And kind of like little chirps that are akin to, like when dogs try to speak without growling or barking. And she says, rage too strong to control.
So given my notion, you feel your rage is what saved you from being controlled, and if right now at any time that had
He lets out a deep growl, his voice guttering. She simply says, I am Alpha.
tell him I respect that. I will also let you know the Mother of Monsters is a target of mine that I have sworn to erase its existence.
He lifts his right hand towards you and points at you and then pats his chest where his heart is.
Yeah. My other question is more specifics on the battle. What transpired? Why is she still alive?
He lets out an angry growl. And he goes to lunge, not necessarily at you, just in fury. And he gets, because he's not in his hulking form, so he does get some, movement. And he eventually hits the limits of the chains. And he's just growling. You can see his feet digging into what would be the ground of this dimension to the point where they're, it's ripping skin. You can see bone before it heals back over. Traitor. Kinslayer. That is all she says.
Wait, Kinslayer.
Give me a raw intelligence.
I am just assuming it's his other brother.
You can assume I'm not going to make, because you came that to you naturally without before rolling. He is referring to Corn. And you do remember Corn has manipulated the Mother of Monsters to his own benefit throughout the ages.
Yeah.
You could probably take a guess, an educated guess, at why he calls him Kinslayer, because Lucian is no longer alive because of what the Mother of Monsters did to him.
Yeah.
So you get the idea, the reason why their fight came to a halt is because Lucian interfered.
Okay.
Not Lucian, Corn, sorry.
Corn interfered. Um, I wish to know the the timing of events. When were you and Lucian turned by the Mother of Monsters in relation to Corrin's betrayal? Did Is this ascension curse between you and Lucian because of Corrin, or not?
She relates kin killed parents because kinslayer manipulated, drew attention of mother, referring to the mother monsters, mother bees.
Mm-hmm.
She turned father, and that's Kara calling Lucian father.
Okay.
And Ulrich's rage to protect his sibling, to avenge him, he struck out. His wolves, the pups that would burrow through the ground, or burrow, dig a hole to get into the basement, and, give him companionship outside of his brother Lucian and his sister. They attacked this entity that was with, reckless abandon. They attacked with such fury that the Mother of Monsters was amused by it and bound them together for all eternity.
Okay.
Then he touches his chest again, pats his chest where his heart is, growls, and she says, "We protected kin, the little one. You can make an educated guess that they're referring to the Witch Queen."
Mm-hmm. I thank Ulrich. This clears up questions for me. Drives my need to avenge not only you and Lucian, but also Nair to a new level. Would you like to know what we know of what the Kinslayer is up to?
You see him simply nod at you.
And at that point, I explain the times that we know we have interacted with him. And then the conversation we had for him in that, I thought it was in like his own like pocket to mention Thana what his plan was there.
Okay.
I'll also add, I don't know. I'm not for certain still on why he wants to, why he was interested in Nair's presence. I think I know, but I'm still trying to piece that together 100%.
So my question, do you inform the dealings that he was using Nyx and all that as well?
Yeah.
You see his fury, rage just come forth. He grabs one of the chains, and you see Kara instinctively back up like a frightened animal. He grabs one of the chains and he just rips it free. And he lets out a howl of pain and anger. And after that, you see the chains reform and then pierce right back into his arm. Kara approaches slowly. Much better on that will. You see him recollect himself, and then Kara nuzzles into him, and he volleys his head onto hers.
Since you were truthful to me, I didn't want to slight that kindness by giving you half-truths as well. Or half-truths. I wanted to tell you everything that was going on.
He nods at you. Gavin, his attitude towards you is friendly. You've earned respect with him.
Okay.
Do note, that is only you, not the rest of your group.
Okay.
There is one attitude level higher than friendly, which is helpful.
Yeah.
Now go ahead and inform him that you're gonna have to wait before we free him.
This all depends how he phrases this.
Don't worry. It's only proven that he can break the chains now. You get him angry enough.
That's about a 6-second delay before they shoot back through him.
Yeah, it's not like, he only needs a full round in order to completely eviscerate you. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine.
No. I started out with giving this. I wish to tell you our entire plan on freeing you.
For some reason, I just picture him also doing charades while saying this.
Yeah. And
Really? Because I'm picturing him doing the doggy voice where, you talk like your dogs too, and it's just so they understand. And don't do
dare
that.
you call my mother a French poodle?
Now, if the dog, if Elric is doing the cock the head thing, making it funny.
I kind of want to walk outside the door now with my head cocked when we finally leave, just to see if he copies.
And when I started off like that, I am also wanting to explain to him our not only plans but reasoning why. And
Okay, to help expedite, because we got a little over 20 minutes.
yeah,
To put this in words that he can truly follow, because while he is in humanoid form, he is still very much a beast. Give me a nature check, like your life depends on it. I have adjusted the DC for this, for everything you've done so far. Does that stand?
I'll let me
You
do
should have
the
0 point left.
yeah. Should have the hero point. I don't remember if
You'd use the token, but
Use
you
the
have the
token.
hero point.
I'll hero point it, and let's see. I like the 16.
He growls at you, and Kara looks angry. And as she goes to kind of lunge at you, he throws his arm up in front of her chest. He nods at you. You go from friendly back to neutral, but he understands. If you got 1 point less, that would have been a critical failure.
Yeah. I tell him. I will also.
Nope, I forgot to adjust the DC right there for the math. Nope. That is just a success.
Okay.
His attitude stays the same towards you. Doesn't go up.
Mm-hmm. I will add in there for him that when we kill the Reaper, I will be sure to collect a trophy for him.
You bring back a bone for him, so help me gods.
Do it.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
Or as the scythe, I could just say, "Here's the stick of."
Alright. So, that is finished.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all depart. Is there anything you all wish to say to him? Anybody else before you depart the cave? Or his prison?
So Dan, how surprised is Solon when he sees that not only do I come back unharmed?
Like, realistically speaking, Solon makes good decisions when he initiates and puts people in positions.
I would also, Dan,
Send
take
that bird hands 5 gold to Chuggy.
Dan, I would take a moment, and I'd go ahead and let everyone know, especially you, what I told him, the information that I got, and then the extra information as far as what exactly happened between the siblings and the timeline of events.
Unless there's anything y'all wish to say to him as you depart, or as you're about to depart, Kara is going to stay there until she is called forth, even because now she knows where he's at. The likelihood of her leaving his side is slim. He grunts, and as you turn to him, he raises his arm, and right below, or right on his pec, right below like the right side of it where the rib muscles are, I forget what those are called, but right where that is, he pats right there, and he grunts again. And Kara says, "Weak spot, mother."
Weak spot what?
She says, "Weak spot, mother." Wound remains.
I give him a nod.
And then before you all actually make that step out, he utters 2 words in broken common. "Thank you."
Oh, must resist the urge to say new dog old tricks. Okay, I resisted. Let's move on.
Alright.
I like how Skeleton Man friended the dog.
Seems kind of par for the course, really.
Just wait till he realizes you're a skeleton.
I thought you looked normal.
Yeah, I do look normal.
Does. So, anything y'all wish to do before we wrap this up? Because I gotta go get my shoes on and get ready to take Sam to work.
Not as far as me, no.
Really good RP. Really good RP. I really enjoyed this, guys. Like I was telling them when you were AFK, Dan, I found it funny that y'all went to this location because last month, like I do at the end of each session, I roll to see if there's an event or anything like that for the next session. I rolled an event that was only available if Kara ever came to the island because of aid from the Bloodlord. If y'all made contact with them, if y'all went to that village, so forth, so on, and whatever transpired there. If Kara ever went to the Bloodlord, special event came available on the table where she would find a medallion to the book and come to you all at night to Gavin and basically do the same thing, grab him by the throat and say, "Free mate," holding a medallion in his hand. So I thought it was really, really funny that y'all decided. That's why yesterday when we were doing session, I thought it was absolutely hilarious y'all went there.
You could have had a fun night, Josh.
Okay, since we have just a couple minutes, we early in the morning, like before sunup, we leave the cave.
Yep.
And we, before the 24 hours are even up, and create some distance. Probably have Nair teleport us. So we're not anywhere near that when the gear shows up. I want to find out what our next quest is and how he reacts to the fact that we're back in our regular bodies.
Okay. So after y'all, you set up wherever you teleported to. Wow, isn't this annoying? Somebody went and undid my magic. Do not think this frees your companions, however, referring to the NPCs that have been altered. You still must complete my quest for them to be free. Says in a very kind of snobbish way because he's definitely upset somebody undid his work. Within the caldera, the heart of the caldera, if you will, lies precious stone. I want it. There is great risk and danger involved. I hear it links directly to the throne of the primordial of fire. Have fun. As he dashes his pipe onto a rock.
You mean U16 or S10/11?
S10/11. That little bitty white spot right there. That
Got it.
is the top of the caldera right there. So in the heart of it, you can probably assume there's lava and extreme heat and all kinds of manner of
So
unpleasant.
you want a precious stone from the caldera.
At
I
the
want-
heart of the caldera, there is only one stone there. So no trickery do with some precious gems I care less about. In the heart of the caldera is the gem. You will know it when you see it.
You sure that's the wording you want to go with? You're an asshole. I'm going to abuse the fuck out of any word loopholes you leave.
You do take after your father. The heart
Yeah,
of the
we're both
Fire
vengeful.
King. He gives you the name of the gem. The heart of the Fire King.
It's not there. Earlier in the campaign, that was stolen.
He squints his eyes at you. Then I want it.
No,
That is your
that's not the
task.
quest you. That's not the quest you put up there. You put wrong information up there. There is no gem there. Therefore, the quest is done. There's no gem or Heart of the Fire gem in the heart of the caldera because it was stolen earlier when we were here, much earlier.
He
Congratulations.
squints
Here is
at
nothing.
you.
Quest
He
number 2 complete.
chuckles. He chuckles. 2 can be vengeful, my friend, and he vanishes.
Oh, if you knew what I had planned for him.
He vanishes, and now he is going to alter the 3rd quest that he already had planned.
Yeah,
But you no longer have to deal with that because that was going to be interesting.
there's no
that's-
fire gem there.
I know. But see, you know that, and see that's dependent of like. I played it as he doesn't know that. You could have tried to acquire it a different way. You could have, done various different things. You could have tried to fool him. But if you all went there, and depending on how things went, that is a boss fight that is. Y'all ever play like Shadow of the Colossus?
Mm-hmm.
Or like Monster Hunter World, the big giant bosses that you could climb on, and just it's a platform kind of fight. That's how that was.
So, I giveth and I taketh away. I most likely screwed us in the next quest, but I saved us a platform boss.
And you
So-
completed the 2nd quest, so hey.
Take that for what you will. I will not apologize.
I wouldn't
I feel like it's
expect you to.
justified.
I can't. I'd have to search through my notes, but I can't actually remember who has the heart of the Fire King.
Look off.
That's right. Yep. I know it was taken, And I was waiting to see if any of you said anything to him. I just couldn't, without looking at my fucking big-ass list of notes, remember where it went.
That's the whole reason I was asking him about a specific fire gem. I'm like,
Yep.
I could go and get a ruby from there, but the most important one is gone already. Like I was thinking about trying to trade it from Vorgoth, but no, I just haven't had the chance yet.
Fair. All right, guys, I got to hop off here and struggle to get my shoes on and take Sam to work.
All right.
Very fun session, really good RP. So next Wednesday we will pick up. If any of you need me for side shit, there's nothing else I can do because, hey, I can't go to work with a fractured leg that nobody's getting a hold of me about. It's like I don't even exist to workman's comp or the doctors, so I get to sit around my house twiddling my thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Did
So
we get enough experience to level to 15 yet?
I believe so. You know, I'm going to
I think
say,
it's been like 3 sessions since we got XP.
yeah,
We're going more milestone at this point, Josh, than we
yeah.
are
I'm just
going by
saying.
experience.
Yeah,
Though
at
the
the
question is,
moment.
have we accomplished enough milestones to level?
That's what I was looking at or thinking about right there. With everything that transpired this session and what you've done the last few sessions, I would say y'all hit level 15.
Got it.
Y'all have some work you need to do with your characters again. You do have the which class feature familiar and what that entails. You don't, to rephrase it, you get familiar feats up to your level, what you're entitled to. So you're
Okay.
level 15, that is 7 levels of which feats you can take for familiars.
Okay.
Got it.
And decide what your familiar is and whatnot. It does have direct link to the Witch Queen, so you can converse with her now. Also means she has eyes on y'all too. So take it for what it is.
Fair enough. Charlie,
Mm-hmm.
is it? You can go now, Derek. I was going to ask him
All right.
about a game situation.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
So, when you do your reviewing and you do your streaming stuff,
Mm-hmm.
do you just do computer and console games, or do you do any handhelds, like Switch Lite, that kind of stuff?
I think the only Switch one I've done is Trials of Mana.
Fair enough.
That was the last like main like Switch game that I played right now.
Have you played Fire Emblem? Well, any of them, but Three Houses.
I have not actually touched a single Fire Emblem game. I've been highly interested, but I haven't had the chance to touch. I haven't in my past touched any Fire Emblem game, and I wanted
Fire
to.
Emblems are amazing. I buy consoles for Fire Emblem. It's a console seller for me.
Yeah.
I bought a Switch Lite just so I could play the Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Three Houses and the one that's coming out in the near future.
Yeah. I want to get Three Houses. I want to try it out. I did see the Namco Bandai game Tales of Arise. I think it actually came out. It's either today or tomorrow. I don't remember.
Okay. To warn you about Fire Emblem, I will think less of you if you don't play Classic. Okay. So Fire Emblem, back in the day, I played the first one that came out in the States.
Uh-huh.
I've played every one, with one exception, and that was because it was like on the GameCube or something, and I never owned a GameCube. So how it works is, did you ever play Advanced Wars or any turn-based strategy?
As far as that goes,
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance or something.
Tactics Advance would be the ones that I've played.
Okay. So it functions exactly like Tactics Advance
Okay.
in terms of gameplay,
Okay.
or in terms of battle.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of cutscenes and stuff that happens in between that. But they do not skimp on content. ever. Replayability is huge because you basically, at a certain point, after you beat a few levels and get through the prologue, get to pick one of 3 separate factions. And these factions often interact, and this is with any Fire Emblem game. They all do this.
Mm-hmm.
There's always more than one faction.
Okay.
And each faction has different missions, and you're going at the war from their perspective. So you're oftentimes can beat the game at one time and then go and join the other side and play it through, fighting on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I was talking about, where I will look down on you if you don't play Classic. They have a cruel feature where when you go and you do a battle and you're fighting, if a character dies,
Mm-hmm.
they die for good.
Yes. That's the one thing I know, especially on free houses. One of the YouTubers that I watch, he does a lot of like comedy sketches and stuff like that, and he does it a lot for like Nintendo games. He did one for new players of Fire Emblem, and he did it strictly on the Three Houses one.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I'm doing it on Iron Man, hardest difficulty. All I've been doing is I've been doing like social events with this one character. I didn't know how to level her. I just kind of tried to make her good at everything. And then it goes up, oh no, she died. Okay, you have this one thing. Go ahead and revive her. It's like, now she's surrounded again. At least I can get her again after this battle, right? And it just looks right.
Yep. I picked that faction for Three Houses. I know exactly what he's referring to. But it sucks. It's the number of times you end up replaying missions because you moved a character to the wrong spot, and all of a sudden every enemy that within range is like, ooh, fresh meat. And they all go and attack the one fucking unit. Holy God. It's amazing I haven't killed someone playing that game. I was just, like I said, I was curious if you had played it yet, and if you had played Fire Emblem in general.
I have not, but I am highly interested in it.
I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. And like I said, a shit ton of missions and content. Fire Emblems have most games, you sit back and at best you think, well, that was a full game. That was great. Fire Emblems, at a certain point, you're like, are we done yet? I think we should maybe be close to done yet. Oh, no, there was another bad guy? Fuck. This game will never end. And what? There are 2 other factions I could choose to play? Shit.
Yeah.
Like, you earn renown doing combat missions, and you can spend it on upgrading these special statues that give you passive buffs. And I'm playing this game, and I've already invested over 40 hours into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, I have to be almost done. Like, I have to be, like near the end here. And I look at my total renown I've earned, and I'm like, I've only gotten halfway through my renown purchases. I've done every combat mission I can get my hands on. Does this mean I'm only halfway through the game?
Oh no.
Oh shit. Okay. I'll let you go now. Like I said, I was curious.
Yeah. Before I go, have you watched the latest episodes of Slime?
Yes. Yes. They're finally getting good again. Because the first part of this part 2 of the season was so hard to get through.
It's a slow start. It was a slow start in the manga as well.
They just could not move on. I got it. You're sitting around and recapping what happened in the last seasons. I understand. I watched the last seasons. I know what happened. let's move on here. And then all of a sudden,
I was starting to read past, and I got to the actual Walpurgis like meeting. I didn't get to the fight in that, and I stopped purposely because I didn't want to spoil it. And when I saw Veldora come in, I just busted out laughing. It was not only knowing that, haha, you got punched in the head, but then realizing, wait, that punch was meant to kill Rimuru, and you just took it and are just going, ow, how could you?
right?
I'm like, wait, how powerful are you?
Well, supposedly there's only 4 true dragons.
Yeah.
4 or 5 true dragons. And he and Milm and the one ice place lady are the only 3 you've met so far.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they are fucking strong. I'm more curious. I really kind of want to find out if Rimuru went full out against Milm, who would win?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not so sure Milm wins that one. Like, if he goes full out, like, he's constantly distracted throughout that entire fight, keeps looking over and studying what's happening over the other guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got someone in front of you here that, you know, you're kind of fighting.
Yeah.
Maybe focus on that. But, like, full-on Orc Lord fight, I'm curious as to if he would come out on top.
Yeah. There's so much of, like, her new repertoire since she's become a demon lord that you just don't know of.
That, and you know, he has to be the one that's going to end up eating Clayman.
Yeah.
Because he needs to. Because I already noticed that he's collecting the 7 deadly sins and the 7 archangels.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of abilities, because he's gotten gluttony and he's gotten. There was one other one I thought he had for 7 deadly sins, but he has 2 of the archangel abilities, Raphael and I forget what the other one was.
I didn't realize that the story. Are you talking about the manga that continues, or
Anime?
No, the anime.
because I guess I've only seen what Netflix has. Like, I haven't bothered looking online for others.
Yeah, I have. It's highly worthwhile.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the point where he's broke the curse for Elizabeth, which would be the final fight between the 10 Commandments and 7 Deadly Sins.
What? Oh, you're talking about a different anime altogether.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about slime. I was reincarnated as slime.
Oh, that one. Okay.
He's collecting like abilities whenever he eats something or undergoes an evolution, and he's evolved 2 of the archangels as abilities, and gluttony for sure. I could have sworn he had another Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Gluttony evolved into Beelzebub, and
Yes.
There was another one he has. There was another of the archdevils.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing he's gonna, eat Clayman and either get envy or I'm guessing an envy ability.
Yeah.
Whatever devil they assign envy to.
Mm-hmm.
But so have you been watching How a Realist Rebuilt a Kingdom?
No, I have not actually touched that one yet. The main ones I did, I finally actually fully finished Castlevania.
Nice.
That last episode, like, threw me for a loop. I was almost severely pissed.
Yeah.
I was almost so pissed that they killed off Trevor. I was like, that's literally like half the show for me. What the fuck are you doing?
Right?
And then comes back, and I was just extremely worried you were going to call the kid Trefor.
Yeah. I highly recommend checking out how Real has rebuilt the kingdom. I don't know how much you are into kingdom building style shows and stuff.
I didn't think I would be much into it. Slime kind of opened that up for me.
This one is very much that route because he's.
Actually, I guess you could also say Shield Hero opened that up for me too.
Fair. Like I said, he doesn't go and he isn't fighting everything, which is kind of a change of pace. He's basically just, hey, don't be stupid, dumbasses. Your country is starving. Don't continue to plant cotton.
Yeah.
Plant crops instead. Hey, you're just starting to get into the action now, where basically he's fighting several conflicts across his country right now, and been kind of interesting because he's actually pulling some decent strategy out of his butt. Though I do question one. He took a battleship and put it on wheels because they have these giant land dragons they use to pull massive cargo